Reality. Reality Receipts.
Welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley.
Okay, guys, so Ashley is suffering from a severe cough. She barely has a voice, and when she talks, her throat gets really tickled and she ends up having a coughing fit. So she is going to chime in today, but very minimally. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you can still see her, and she will be giving us sign language clues for her thoughts. She'll be sending me some text messages throughout the episode so she can contribute her thoughts. But for the most part, you're stuck with me today. We're going to talk about Love is Blind Italy episodes 3 and 4. We tried to do it yesterday. We tried to get it out to you guys yesterday. And you guys, the cough is like really bad. Really bad. Shh. No, I'm just playing.
I'll save it.
Save it. We need those little moments for your opinions. It was really bad. She was coughing like every minute or two, so she's been doing her best to get better. You guys make sure you guys send her some healing vibes. If you guys have any home remedies, she's tried the oregano, she's tried cough syrup, she's tried honey, she's tried a humidifier. She's tried everything. So if you guys have any suggestions, or if you guys have any home remedies that work for like a severe cough, itchy throat, let us know. But we couldn't miss another day without talking to you guys about Love is Blind Italy. So here we are. So obviously we liked the way that Italy does this. By episode 4, they are already on the vacation, so we don't get a lot of that pod time. I don't know about you guys. That's my least favorite part of these Love is Blind seasons are the pods. Like, I'm like, boring, yawn. Get us on the vacation, get us to the drama. So in episode...
Wait, are we going to talk? I'm so sad about my voice today because massive news just broke.
That's true. See, this is why I need Ashley.
Oh.
Yes. Our receipt report for the day.
Yes. I mean, worst timing for me because I got so much to say, but I'll let you take it away. We had a massive divorce news break this morning.
Yes, we had massive receipt report. Love is Blind. Season 3 couple Brennan and Alexa have officially announced their split. So Alexa made a post on Instagram announcing the split, very PR statement. Oh, respect our privacy. They did welcome a baby girl last July. So they said that they're focusing on basically co-parenting and being there for their daughter. Us Weekly actually released the reason for the split. I guess the divorce papers cited basically irreconcilable differences. He said a conflict in personalities, and Brennan was actually the one to file for divorce from Alexa, which to me is shocking because I feel like when a man leaves, it's like, they'll stay a lot longer just because they don't want to have to deal with the divorce and all that comes with it and the comfort that they get from a marriage. But he was actually the one to file, which was shocking to me. Just in a nutshell, tell us what you think about them divorcing.
It said he filed in November, right? So that is shocking that it didn't leak before her announcement today. And I'm a little sad that no one told us, but I also know that was season 3. And we're coming up on 10. And so it is old news, but obviously divorce is a big deal. So I'm surprised nobody heard. I don't know like how he filed, if it was under a certain name, or I honestly think they just weren't on anyone's radar because they just had a baby last August. And I felt like once they have a baby, then they're solid, right? I think people weren't really even concerned about them. And I feel like my season 3 takes are very hot now because I was riding for them, even though I know like they did seem to be really in love, right? And I know a lot of people didn't like them because of the Cole stuff. So you're probably one of them, right?
Yeah, I not that I didn't like them. The thing is that I don't remember much about them, to be honest. I just remembered he was very cowboy. She was very, came from a very, rich family, very spoiled, used to having lots of money, nice things, being well taken care of. And I remember them having, she made more money than him. He was more so wanting to, be there for the kids and, like my job's not that important, family's important type of mentality, where it was like she kind of liked the finer things in life. So I do remember it being like they're maybe not compatible lifestyle wise, very like
Mhm.
Megan and Jordan. You know what I mean? Where it's like she's accustomed to something, and could she make it work, or could she downgrade her life? Us Weekly reminded me that there was, I guess, a conversation about a prenup. I don't actually remember them ever having that conversation, but I think it was a part of their storyline where they ultimately didn't end up getting one. I'm sure she's shooting herself in the ass right now. But and again, maybe I don't know if a lot of her wealth or money came from specifically her and what she's making, or like family money that like is maybe like her assets and stuff are in her dad's name or something like that. But I thought that they liked each other. She did seem a little bit, he seemed to just kind of worship the ground she walked on, in my opinion. It
Mhm.
was just kind of like he was very accommodating. She was a little bossy. She kind of wore the pants. But sometimes that works for couples. You know what I mean? When you have a more dominant personality and a more passive personality. I think he was definitely that passive personality. But and I do remember thinking, you know, I didn't like how they came at Cole, and they kind of like towards the end of the season like had this hoity-toity attitude. We all know how I feel about a hoity-toity attitude. I don't like it. I don't
Mhm.
fuck with it, because they did, I remember throughout the season became that couple of like, oh, we're the best, we're the number one couple, we're the star couple, everybody wants to be like us. They kind of even had that attitude at the reunion, in my opinion. And I
Mhm.
remember I was just reminded because, you know, during his season, Brennan did have like a huge domestic violence allegation come out about him. It was
Mhm.
never a charge. It was just an incident report that was filed. He denied it, but I remember specifically because I just watched the video on it, was when he was asked about it in an interview, he brushed over it so fast and then
Mhm.
instantly started dragging Cole and saying, oh, that's not true. But what is true is that Cole got a number at the bachelor party. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so he was so adamant on like throwing Cole under the bus. And that is what I remember about them. But I think you're right. Once a couple has a baby, they're not really on the radar for divorce, because you would assume that things are going well. I think I was shocked that they had a baby. And once it was like Zach and Bliss to me. Like, okay,
Mhm.
they're a little happy, boring couple that we're not really gonna hear much about or need to know much about. And so I would say this one's shocking. Like Milton and Lydia wasn't shocking to me. You know, who else? Oh, Matt and Colleen, that they weren't shocking to me. That was very like, okay, yeah, duh. But
Yeah.
Brennan and Alexa, I didn't
Yeah.
expect that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
season 3, I think, now has no success, right? Because Colleen and Matt got divorced, and
Oh,
now Alexa and Brennan. So, like season 2, all the marriages have fallen apart. So,
were
not
they the only two that got married in season
I
3, or was there one more?
I thought that it was just them, because then there
Yeah,
was Raven and
Raven and
SK
SK.
didn't.
Yeah.
Who else? Cole and Zeynep? No, obviously.
Nancy and
Nancy and
Bartiste.
Bartise.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so now there's 0 marriages from that season. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So
but they did have a baby, so I guess still successful. But
yeah, I need to know more. I need to know more. I feel like there's some, I thought that maybe she would do a podcast this week and like spill the tea,
I'm
but
sure she will.
see, well,
Oh,
maybe not. Maybe not, because he's the one that filed, and you guys know how this goes. When we get a divorce announcement, then we get a baby announcement, right? Because somebody's going to have to show that this experiment still works. Like they're all very like calculated with that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get the announcement that Jasmine and Bobby had their baby, or AD and Ollie are going to reveal that they had their
hmm,
baby either today or this week. Like it's
yeah.
definitely coming. So, but yeah,
That's
that's
a
the big T.
Yeah, that's a good point, because normally I would assume Alexa's gonna go on AD's podcast, but we know AD's 99% sure had her baby. She's just waiting for that perfect moment to get the spotlight. And I know that Love is Blind PR is very smart. They usually have bad news followed by good news. So, like you
Yeah.
said, I think AD's baby announcement will probably come later today or tomorrow to kind of wash this one away. But I don't know who's going to be doing AD's podcast. We haven't heard anything, right? I think they're still showing old episodes at this point. She did some Married at First Sight interviews, which were obviously recorded a while ago. So I don't know who's gonna get this big Alexa divorce one because I know Brennan filed, but that doesn't always mean anything because usually they talk and confer and decide who. Usually, unless it's very like what's the word, contentious, then it becomes a race because I know Rachel Lindsay, who was on The Bachelorette, talked about her and her ex decided to separate on like New Year's Eve and he like immediately filed. So he came out first. So the
Mm,
fact that Brennan would file first and not let her does, I think, show some contention, right? Like he
yeah.
didn't give her that for a reason, I think. So, but
Yeah.
well, I'm sure we'll
Yeah.
hear more.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something What's the Reality would have. And I'm pretty sure I don't know if AD said in a previous episode that she's not coming back to the pod after the baby. I'm not really sure what her plans are. Maybe they'll resort back to the Vile Files, but if Brennan, if you want to come on and tell us what the hell you
Yeah.
did, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of you during your season. I don't think I said anything too bad. I did reveal that incident report of his alleged domestic violence complaint, but
Uh-huh.
whatever, that was public info. You can't,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I kind of got the vibe that AD does not like doing the pod. I think the Ashley thing, I think she's in that hard place where you're having to do what Kinetic wants, right? I don't maybe her personal choice wouldn't have been to interview Ashley or would have been to go a little harder at Ashley, but I think she has to follow the rules to do these interviews and I don't know. I've seen her post a couple of times about sort of like dreading the day that the episode comes out because she gets a lot of I don't think she gets a lot of backlash except for a couple of the interviews, but I don't know. I don't know if everyone's cut out for that, right? Like every week to be getting
Hey,
commentary. And then it brings up her Love is Blind story and the 80s X
yeah,
of it all. So
yeah.
I could see her not returning, like we said, probably a reality show or something for them. But who do you think would replace her? I would assume they're going to keep the podcast going. So I don't know who else would be good at it. It's that time of year again. Have you started your holiday shopping?
I have for the little ones, but I'm having a super hard time finding something for my mom because her birthday is 2 weeks before Christmas and it's her 60th. So I really want to get her something really special this year. Do you have any ideas?
I do because my husband actually just had a milestone birthday and I found something super unique and special to gift him. It's called a Storyworth memoir. Each
Okay.
week, Storyworth emails a loved one a memory provoking question that you get to choose. Questions like, what were your favorite toys as a child? Or what are you most proud of? All your loved one needs to do is respond to that email with a story. They can either write a story over email or record it over the phone for Storyworth to transcribe. It's so easy with no apps or passwords required. It's perfect for even your least tech savvy relatives.
So Storyworth basically takes your loved one's story and compiles it into a book for you?
Yep.
What about like photos, pictures, and stuff like that?
They include the photos and they are printed in a beautiful, vibrant color. It's a treasure your loved one and you will be able to share and revisit for generations to come.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. That's perfect. I think she would absolutely love that. My mom loves those kind of things. I think my grandma would actually really enjoy something like this too. So thanks so much for the recommendation. I'm definitely going to have to check out Storyworth.
It's the perfect gift. So give your loved ones a unique keepsake you'll all cherish for years. Storyworth Memoirs. Right now, save $10 or more during their holiday sale when you go to storyworth.com/receipts. That's storyworth.com/receipts to save $10 or more on your order.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think that for in the meantime, they should maybe test out different people and on like a different, have somebody different host each day and see
Mhm.
who does a good job at it because I think it would be hard to tell you really do need somebody charismatic. And I think that AD was doing well, but once you start giving up that control and giving up that authenticity, you really become a robot and you really can't like show your creative side or show your ability to ask the tough questions. And I think that where AD went wrong, it's not that okay, we get the Ashley interview. You're only you're the questions are approved by Kinetic, like you have to stay in line with what they want. But I think where she went wrong was like, you know when you watch that interview, it was just like it. in the words of Jessie Woo, like two birds chirping. Like they were just like, you know what I mean? Like it was just like there was no accountability there. There was no nothing. It was just like, oh,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna take in what you say and like, oh yeah, girl, woe is you, and like you didn't deserve any of this. And it's kind of like,
Mhm.
okay, we're just gonna not address the fact that she like shitted on her audience and she
Yeah.
ignored this and that. Like it's okay, it's okay to be compassionate and still hold somebody accountable, which is I think where AD lost her audience, because she didn't hold her accountable at all. And there is a professional way to do that without like badgering your guest and like making it
Yeah.
uncomfortable. And I think that AD just missed the mark on that one. But like you said, it is hard. You do have to have tough skin. The two of us have gotten to a point where it's like, okay, we're going to get those bad comments. Who gives a fuck? Like you can't please
Yeah.
everyone. And 9 times out of 10, just don't fucking read them. And then you just, then you don't know what the fuck people are saying. So whatever. So,
You know,
yeah, that was
it's
the, go ahead,
you
Ashley.
yeah, it's usually someone that's just mad about your opinion too. So even if they do make a personal comment, it's usually because they just disagree with what you've said or done, like we saw with the Love Island. So yeah, you have like we get to share our opinion. So even for her, she's not really sharing her opinion. So you would think that might make it easier. But the Ashley one was just controversial. So
Yeah.
it was hard. Oh, the other big news, Spotify Wrapped came out today. Super cool to see you guys sharing it. So thank you for that, and thank you for listening to us. And just like blows my mind that a year ago I was like checking out all my favorite podcasts on my Wrapped, and now we're on people's Wrapped, which is
Yeah.
crazy. So thank
Yeah.
you so much for listening, guys. We love you all.
Yes, it was so incredible to see. Like this year has definitely like exceeded any and all expectations, and we're so happy to be here with you guys. So thank
Yeah,
you for growing with us and continuing to listen and being here with us. I know we were supposed to be once a week, and now
we
we're
just
here
can't.
every day. We just can't stay away because we love you guys so much. So thank you for that. And make sure that if we are on your Wrapped and you're sharing it on socials, make sure to tag us because we love seeing it. And while
Yeah.
you're at it, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure to give us a rating, because
Yes.
Apple Podcast ratings are where it counts, if you didn't know. But yeah, that
Mhm.
is the divorce tea. That's the receipt report. And then we will get into episodes 3 and 4 of Love is Blind Italy. I'm
Yeah.
liking it so far. It seems like we're going to get even more into some drama as the season continues. I think
Mhm.
episode 3, we just see a little bit more of those connections forming, right, in the pods. Episode 3 started out with a reveal. We
Mhm.
saw, was it Elisa and Alessandra's reveal that we
Yes.
saw at the top of episode 3?
Very passionate.
Very
I like
passionate, very steamy. They
a lot of these
are,
reveals where they're very passionate in Italy, which is cool to see. They know how to do it there. They jump, they run, they make out, they carry each other. It's very
yeah,
fun.
yeah, yes. It was very obvious that these two were really into each other. He picked her up and he's staring in her eyes. He's grabbing her neck. It literally seemed like I should have left the room. Like I was like, okay, I think these two, we didn't have much to say about them in episodes 1 and 2. And honestly, in episodes 3 and 4, I didn't have much to say about them either. My overall thoughts were like, okay, their reveal was nice to see. They're clearly attracted to each other. I do
Mhm.
think, and again, it could be the edit, right? But I do think that this age thing, this age gap, the 4 years, they're making it seem like it's 15 years. I think that that's going to be their reoccurring storyline. I think, in my opinion, you can let me know what you think, but I think that she's insecure about it. I think that she's insecure about the age, and like it's
Mhm.
going to keep coming up, and it's going to keep, and like everything that he does is going to be, oh, because of his age, oh, because of his age. And I think like we
Mhm.
only see really one scene with them, and what are they talking about? The age thing. So
Yeah.
I do think that that's kind of like a little production and
Yeah.
did, like, they're going to make that their thing. But overall, I think that they like each other. I think that they could work, and I think that they look great together.
Yeah, I think it was really smart of her to ask, like, you have to think about how this person will be as a father, because I think a lot of us women don't do that. And you're just not thinking about that when you're picking your romantic partner, right? You're in, like, are they hot or do you like them or how do they treat me? But you don't think about that even for men too, like how someone is as a parent. And if you do want kids, it's definitely an important thing to think about. And I think she's sort of not second guessing, but he is quite immature. I think the table manners thing bothered her. But like you said, it's very small things. I don't know that it's bothering her as much as the edit is making it seem because she's known his age since the start, right? But
Yeah.
she seems like she's only 30, right? But she's like, I need to start having kids within a year, and he's definitely like not on that page, so that could be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do think that though, people wanna rush these timelines, and I think that, like, especially in a situation like Love Is Blind, like, you really need to know you already don't know this person, you're
Hmm.
already in an accelerated pace. It honestly, look at what happened with Brennan and Alexa. These two people don't know each other. They had a baby and
Hmm.
now they're ending in a divorce with a kid, and it's like you want to avoid that if you can. It's important to take a year or two to get to know each other, even more than two. Shit, Brennan and Alexa were only married 4 years. Love is Blind
Hmm.
land moves fast because I could have sworn they were married for longer than that. But
Yeah.
um, I think it's important to not rush. Like in a year, she doesn't. No, I know, and I know that us women have biological clocks or whatever, but it's like,
Hmm.
do I see him being ready to have a kid in a year? No,
No.
absolutely not. Like,
No.
so probably if that is your boundary, if that is your deal breaker, if that is your timeline, then don't waver on it and recognize that maybe this isn't the right partner for you.
And
So
yeah, once you have kids, like that's it. Your time, just the two of you, is gone. And obviously, sometimes people don't plan it and it happens. But I think the more time you can get to know each other before you introduce kids in, the better. So I don't know. She doesn't need to be on such a short timeline. I don't think you have time. But
you have time. Yeah, you have more time than you think. Most importantly, you want to make sure, like you said, you're having kids with the right person and not
Mhm,
just with anyone.
mhm,
And having kids with somebody that you don't really know and then you get to know them once you have a kid with them
mhm.
is probably is a recipe for disaster. So,
Agree.
yeah. So, but overall,
Yeah,
we'll
there.
see where things go with them because they're not given too much at this point so far. So,
No.
yeah, they weren't involved in any of our love triangles that we have, which that's what I will say about these foreign franchises that the American one is missing. I think like back in season 3 we saw those, like we saw the Colleen and Cole and we saw the Bartice and Raven, like people that had their number 1 and their number 2, they were getting engaged and then having to face their number 2. I
Mhm.
think that that is an added element to the show
Yeah.
that is just so good. It makes it so juicy. Like we really live for that moment of like, okay, I want to see how
Mhm.
Georgiana's going to react to Giovanni, how Giovanni's going to react to Georgiana when he picked Georgia. There's a lot of G's there. That's a tongue
Yes.
twister, that little couple there. But I think that, and then we've seen it again with Nicola and Karen. Like, you know what I mean? Like they have those where their
Mhm.
second option is on the trip with them. And I don't think we've seen that in a few seasons now, which,
No, and we could have had it in the boring ass season 8, right, with the Sarah and the Joey of it all, and they didn't show it. Like they never told us that they were each other's like number 2, and now they're together still. So
yeah,
they really maybe there wasn't anything to show, but I feel like it at least would have given us some backstory and reference. So I don't know why they stopped doing that on the US version because I think it does make that trip interesting. It's like the only exciting thing to watch there. So
right, right. Because I think, I don't know, maybe they think that the mixer of it all, like they wait for that moment where all the cast comes and the mixer's there and then they run into their spots. But it's like, no, it's actually like really entertaining to see them on the vacation with their partner, spending time with both, like an extended amount of time, not just one night.
mhm.
Um, so yeah, they're definitely missing that. But we see more of this Georgia and Giovanni connection in episodes 3 and 4. Like, she seems to be falling for him hard, and everybody and their mama seems to see and know that Giovanni is just a fucking playboy. He's a player, but nobody
Mm-hmm.
is telling Georgia this to her face. They're all saying
No.
it behind her back. They're all, and we see her fall for him. We see him dump Georgiana. Literally, he says the reason is he needs somebody to fight with. He needs somebody that's going to challenge him. He's gone with
Mm-hmm.
women in the past who kind of just don't challenge him, and he needs somebody to fight with. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And we talked about his fashion. So some of our
Yeah.
followers let us know that it's bizarre, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's bizarre in Italy. They don't do that there. You guys let us know
Yeah.
about the 14-year-old. We had that chat. Some of you guys chimed in, said it's not a big deal. They take
Yes.
taxis. They go clubbing at 13, 14. So, all right, our American asses, my American ass, her Canadian ass, will mind our business on that front. But we saw Giovanni and Georgia's reveal.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he's into her. That's my take.
At all.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he was expecting, but yeah, I don't think he was happy. And I don't like when we finally see them in their room together. And I mean, she wears like the little shorts and stuff, right? Which I feel like if a man is super attracted to you, he would find anything you wear sexy, right? But the fact that he's already not really feeling her, I felt like that just put him over the edge. And then he slept on the couch.
So the sleeping on the couch was weird to me. Like, because
Yeah.
we hear her say, and again, it could be the translation,
Mhm.
but we hear her say, basically, we decided to take some space. We spent a lot of time talking, like, we're going to take our time with things. And at the time, I was like, are they breaking up? Like, what's going on? Does she just mean for the night? And then we hear him saying, like, just based on his values, he doesn't want to sleep with her. And so
But he
now
has a
he's
sugar daddy shirt, but he has values apparently. So
yes. And I don't know. And I know he made a little joke like, oh, just in case you were worried about anything, like sugar daddy, like, I guess maybe trying to insinuate that he's a provider.
mhm.
Right? I don't know. But I just thought, like, okay, if you thought she was just drop dead gorgeous hot, would you still have these same values? I don't know. But that's the fuckboy in him. These are the red flags that she's seen. Now it's all about your values, but if it was somebody else, you would have been probably trying to get some that night.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't see them working out. I think I don't know. I don't see them working out. I see him like just being an F boy and just he's gonna make it her fault somehow, some way.
Mhm.
I think her flags are going off and she's starting to realize that she made a mistake. I felt like, was it her at the mixer that I felt like was flirting with
Davide.
Davide? Yes.
Yes.
So at the mixer, I felt like Georgia was like flirting with Davide. If I had to take a guess, I would guess that Davide and Georgia had a connection in the pods. They were each other's
Mhm.
top, and we just didn't see it. But Davide was too worried about. He was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he was too worried about
Luda.
Nicola, Luda and Nicola having a little chat. But
Mhm.
overall, yeah, Giovanni's an F boy. And I felt like, so we see him have a talk with Georgiana, which is another, again, that dynamic that just makes this show super interesting of,
Mhm.
These love triangles. So we see him go have a talk with Georgiana. And to you, did you feel like, because to me, I did, that he was like trying to get her to say that she made the wrong choice?
Yeah. And again, I
Yeah.
don't know if that's just this competitive nature that these men have, like if they genuinely care. It almost seems like they don't want someone, but they're mad that someone else got them instead, right? And so I don't know if he really is feeling Georgiana or he just wanted that validation. Like I'm not sure. But
I
I
felt like physically Georgiana was more his type.
Yeah.
than Georgia was. And I think, like, because what he said to her didn't make sense to me, because he's sitting there telling her, like, basically, like, I didn't break up with you. Like, I gave you the choice of if you wanted to be with me or break up with me or something like
Mhm.
that. Like, and again, it could be the edit, but I was like, what are you talking about, sir? Like, you physically went in there, broke up with her. She
Mhm.
stood on big business. She said, I'm not going to shed a tear. I'm not going to, I'm not going to cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna. And she walked on out, and she just
Uh-huh.
didn't ever look back. But it
Yeah.
was so bizarre. He's like, no, like, I wasn't. Like, I was just telling you. No, you were breaking up. Like, men just can't stand on business. Like, they can't just be like, yeah, this is what I said. This was it. And
Mhm.
you know,
I'm kind of wondering now if he just had no intentions of getting married, so he picked Georgia on purpose because he knew they were gonna fight a lot, and that was gonna give him a good out, right? Because I don't understand why. Because is she older, like his age? How old is Georgia?
I
I forget, but
feel like, yeah, mid-30s.
yeah,
Yeah,
and Georgiana is younger, right? Like
yeah.
20. So I'm like, if because they're both beautiful women. So I'm like, physically, if Georgiana's more his type, I'm assuming that means he likes to date younger women. So it's like, why would you? It's just a weird time to like randomly. I guess that's the point of the experiment, to try something different. But you are going to get married this time, so maybe you don't want to go so far out of your normal preference. But
Yeah.
I
I mean,
don't know what he doesn't like about Georgia.
I don't know either. I think we haven't seen those fights yet. I think we're going to see
Mhm.
them because, I mean, she just seems to have a very strong personality, which might be what he needs, but he seems to have a strong personality as well. And sometimes two strong personalities clash.
Yeah. And
So,
I think if you don't have that, I think the strong personality can work if you have that intense physical attraction, because then it's hot and you're fighting and you're making up. But if you don't have that physical attraction, that's hard to find. And then the person also annoys you and you fight, it's like there is nothing there then. So maybe he thought it was going to be this hot, fiery, passionate relationship. He saw her and doesn't have that physical feeling. So he's like, damn it. Now I don't
what
have
did
anything good here.
do you think that she had that fiery physical feeling for him?
I feel like she does. I think she would
Yeah.
have definitely hooked up with him if he slept in the bed. So that's
She kind of
awkward.
insinuated that
Yeah.
she wanted to. That's what I
Yeah.
noticed, is all the women kind of wanted to do it to
Get
the
it on.
men, and the men were like, yeah, no, we gonna wait.
And that's that thing where it's like, if you don't have that immediate physical attraction as a man, can it grow? Right. And I don't know if, I think the only time we see these couples really work out is when the man is so physically attracted. You know, like when Lauren and Cameron met and he ran to her, right? Like you just immediately are into them. Like we saw with a few of these couples, but not
Mhm.
Georgia and Giorgio, whatever the heck their names are.
Georgia and Giovanni and
Giovanni.
Georgiana. Yeah, I
Hmm.
think Georgiana was just staring at Giovanni in his face like, I'm so glad I didn't pick you. This was
Yeah.
not the right choice for me.
Well, and she got Parm, so she won the lottery,
She won the
living
lottery.
our
Okay.
dream life. So
Living our dream life.
I
Yes. So
cannot
that.
find him on Instagram. I tried. It's
Oh,
so
he's not on social media. Check, 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 check,
I'm
check, check,
sure he
check.
is, but I was shocked. I haven't looked again, but the day that it dropped,
Uh-huh.
Netflix Italy hadn't even posted anything about the show. I was like, "What? Is this not your biggest show?" I guess not. Maybe they're too classy in Italy and they're like embarrassed of this show. What do you think?
Maybe. Maybe.
Because
I
I
don't
was
know.
shocked.
I don't know. But I will say that Georgiana definitely hit the lotto with Parminder. We see them get engaged. We know that they're going to have kind of like an uphill battle with her family. Not
Oh,
really. Oh, you found
sorry.
him?
They did finally make a post, so then now some of
Okay.
them are in the comments, but I'm not seeing no Parminder. So if you guys, well, let's wait and find out if he's married first. And if
Yeah,
not, then
let's
we're going to
wait.
hook
Let's
him up with
wait.
Ricky. She's going to move to Italy and do the podcast from Italy. So that's
I'm
2024.
actually not going to move to Italy because I just seen a viral video that of a really big creator that was
Grace.
Grace. She was in Italy and she made this video basically saying, that, she's roaming the streets of Italy, going to lunch, doing her thing. People were staring at her, pointing at her, laughing at her, to the point point where she started crying because she couldn't figure out what everybody was looking at or why they were talking about her. She said that people were just breaking their necks, pointing, laughing, like all kind of things, and she couldn't figure it out. And upon reading the comments, basically, she is a plus size girl. So basically, the comments said that Italy they're very known for body shaming and that they're very racist there. And I did notice, we talked about this in the last episode of like, well, they're outwardly able to say, like Georgiana outwardly, openly said, like she basically doesn't think that her mom or parents are going to be okay with her dating a brown guy, which is like shocking because I think in the US, like people definitely don't just like outwardly say that, especially even if their parents do feel that way. And then and then now they're saying that they body shame out there and they're racist and don't really like black people. I was wondering why there were no black people. I was like, are there no black people in Italy? Why is there no people of color on this cast? So a bitch will not be moving to Italy. He gonna have to move to the States. So
and I'm just reading the comments on the Netflix post. They only have one post of the show up, and I'm hitting translation, so it could be wrong. But yeah, they seem not impressed, the Italians, with the show. They're like, who are these people? They're not even real. Like, this is stupid. I couldn't get through the first episode. So I think they're a little too classy for Love is Blind, but
I don't know.
We like it.
I don't
We're
know if
enjoying
classy is the word. I don't know if class is the word. I don't
Judgy.
know. Yeah, they're judgy and first of all, yeah, we need some color. Anywho, so
I just hit translation on one. I'm paying Netflix to watch these hoes. That's what one person said.
Oh, hoes? What about it is hoes?
And you're making us pay for this shit? Pig 2. I don't even know what that means. Yet they're not happy.
It's like, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to click on it, right? Actually.
Another shit based off of Botox and hormones. So yeah, they're spicy in Italy. They're not feeling it. I only watched 5 minutes. Oh boy. Okay. Well,
oh boy. All right. Well,
we're watching it.
We're watching it. Okay, like you don't, just because you have a Netflix subscription doesn't actually mean that you have to watch it. But oh no.
The first cough, that was pretty good.
35 minutes first cough, so we're going to, but see, the thing is, once one starts, they start trickling, so we're going to hurry up and get through this so we can still get Ashley's takes without her dying. Okay, like she gets a headache and then her muscles start hurting. I just can't imagine, because when I cough, my head starts hurting, and then it just spirals into so many other things. So we're gonna get through this so we can still get her little takes. But my point was, I'm not moving to Italy because apparently they're very racist out there. You guys let us know what your experience is, or if you are from Italy, and they don't like plus size people. So this creator said she had an awful experience to the point of tears. Yeah, her only foe was that she's plus size and apparently a redhead. Apparently, she said, apparently I did see some comments saying like, oh, redheads, often get stared at. I did have an experience like that when I was in like Thailand, like in Bali. And they were staring and like taking pictures and stuff. And I think it's because they don't see a lot of African-American people out there. But yeah, so yeah, do better, Italy. Because I was definitely wondering why there's no people of color in the pods. We do have Parminder, which he seems like an angel. He seems like a doll. I think him and Georgiana are the only ones that had sex first night. So clearly there's like an immense physical. Yeah, there's a physical attraction there. At their reveal, you hear her say, oh my God, he's so good looking. I think he's attracted to her. She's attracted to him. I think that they could work if, her family can get on board. He seems too good to be true. He seems like really perfect. So I'm really trying to, hopefully he maintains that image and we don't get any bad things happening with them. But I think so far, to me, they're my favorite couple. I don't know if it's just because I have a massive crush on him, but to me, they're my favorite couple. He's nice to look at, so I like seeing him on my screen. So
we get a lot of that on Love is Blind. So
yeah, we don't get a lot of that. We got Freddie, and we haven't got one since. Parminder's no Freddie, but he fine.
Who is the guy on France that we also found very handsome?
I don't know.
We tried to get him on the pod, but he doesn't speak English.
No idea. Yannick?
No.
No, I found Yannick to be handsome. Isn't that crazy? And Van Me, however you say, yes, him was fine. He's no Freddie. Freddie is here. Freddie to me is like, if you were to go into a lab and notate exactly what you want, perfect teeth, perfect smile, perfect abs, perfect hair, that is what you would get. You know what I mean?
Wait.
So
I bet. No, I don't know if I should tell you this.
what?
I saw somebody making like celebrity death predictions for 2026, and they said Justin Timberlake, and I was like freaking out. So we don't even want to put that out there in the universe. So take it
Yeah,
back.
why would
Take it back.
somebody say that? Why
I
would somebody
don't
say
know.
that?
It was
Why would
horrifying.
was it a psychic or somebody?
No, just I hope like a random person, but we're not
Okay,
putting that
yeah.
in the universe.
Hell
Send Justin
no.
Timberlake all the health and love
That
vibes.
would literally crush my soul, you guys.
No, it's not
And
happening.
he's a
He's young.
dad. He's
Yeah.
young and he is a dad and he has 2 young children that need him. So
People-
that would be awful. I don't know why someone would say that.
No, put that in the universe is bad. So we take it back. We're taking it back.
Yes.
So
Another couple that we saw in episodes 3 and 4 is Yoni. I think that's how you pronounce her name, Yoni and Alessandro, but they didn't go on the honeymoon, but we did
Yeah.
see them have a very spicy conversation in the pod. So again, we know from previous seasons that they do have like a sex day where they encourage them to talk about sex I think the one that will go down in history is Casey and Patrick's cringy where she's talking about her Landon strip, her pussy hairs, she's talking all kind of stuff. And it was just the most cringiest sex talk I've ever seen. He looked visibly uncomfortable. Anyway, we see Yoni and Alessandro have a talk, which to me was interesting, right? Because he walked away from their first date saying, oh, I don't know if she's into it. She walked away saying, oh my God, there's like this spark. And then all of a sudden they have this sex talk and he's like, yeah, I'm feeling this. This is it. Just like a man. Anywho.
What do you think he thought of her at the reveal? Do you think they liked each other?
I thought they liked each other. I thought so.
She was very confident, which I think is, I mean, she's obviously beautiful too, but I think that confidence is good. You know, she's like, I'm a knockout. And like, I don't think people sometimes realize how far that can go too, right?
Yeah,
like
hell
when
yeah.
you know, we see some other insecure couples and it definitely makes them even less attractive, I think, to the other people. But if you go in like I'm hot and then they believe it too, right? Even if they maybe didn't feel it. But I think he was feeling her.
Confidence is definitely attractive. I do remember her dress. I was like, I really like her dress.
Yes.
And again, I know like in certain countries like Italy and stuff, like thin is in and it's like you're not really like, you know, like my body type in a lot of places would maybe be considered overweight, but here in the States, it's considered like curvy or slim thick or whatever, you know, and I say that because my grandma's brother, he's from India, and every time he sees me, like, mind you, my stomach is flat. I just have hips and butt. He'll be like, you're getting fat. And I'm like, oh, okay. But when I see her,
like, aren't you like a size small? You're teeny tiny.
I'm not a size small.
Oh.
Definitely
guessing shit.
medium, teetering large, depending on the fabric.
Every place is so different, right?
Every place
Literally.
is different. Medium, I can squeeze it to a large if needed. I can't tell you the last time I've worn small or extra small. I say that to say
you look tiny to me.
No, in Yoni's dress, I was like, oh, like it's beautiful, but it would look so different on me because of my curves. But I thought he liked her. I think that was another reveal that was passionate. He's like, let me look at you. You're so beautiful. And I think she is beautiful. And I think that sex talk definitely helped. He's like, you know, I think I saw and felt that passion from them as well. I thought that they liked each other. I was disappointed that they didn't get to go on the trip. I guess technically we have 6 engaged couples. And so they didn't get to go. I think I could have done without Elisa and Alessandro and seen more of Yoni and Alessandro. I feel like, you know, especially because she's like our only like Asian representation. We don't get a lot of that on these, you know what I mean? Like I would have liked to see more of her, but based on the previews, we are going to get to see a continuation of their story. So we are going to get to see, they are going to do the living in the apartment phase. They just didn't do the vacation phase, but I like
Morocco.
them. Yeah, Morocco. I'm like, damn, they get good vacations. And then I think the biggest of all is the Nicola, Karen, Luda, Davide of it all.
Yeah. And
Okay.
his rage, Nicola. So
Nicola's rage and Luda's disinterest in Davide. She's not attracted to him, Ashley. Nobody can
no.
convince me that she is.
No, but I do think once we saw them together, eventually they do have a good chemistry, a good rapport together. I feel like they are a good fit. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but going back to the pods, like obviously her insecurities got the best of her, which I don't blame her. I think if someone told me they were a former professional football, soccer, whatever player, like that they have been accustomed. Although, like you said, we don't know the details. Was he on the bench? Was he a player? I don't know. So, but you'd assume they're accustomed to having their pick of women, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean he wouldn't be interested in her, but I think that does come with some red flags. So I
Yeah.
don't blame her for not being into him, and I don't know why he got so mad. He doesn't like to lose, obviously, as a
Doesn't like to lose.
sports athlete guy. So,
Yeah.
what did you think of his smashing of the stuff?
Girl, I was like, okay, somebody check his basement because the way he's freaking out. First of all, it was the cursing, the fuck this and the shit this, and I was like, first of all, bitch, what are we cussing? Like I've only known you for 10 days, and again, for me, Luda was looking at Karen and she's comparing herself to Karen, and she's thinking in her mind, he's gonna like a girl that looks more like Karen. So she self-sabotaged because she was insecure. And whole time I think Nicola was leaning toward Luda. I think that he was gonna pick her. And again, I don't think it had anything to I think his reaction was to losing, right?
Yes.
In my opinion, Karen made it very known that she had no other options, right? Like, you're my number one, you're who I pick, I don't have any other options. To where Luda, he knew that she had two options, and I think that he just wanted to win.
I
Like,
agree.
he just wanted to win. And I think, like, once he realized that, I don't think it was about Luda at all. Once he realized I'm losing, like, she doesn't want to pick me, he got upset and he smashed the Christmas tree, stormed out. What the fuck? Red flag. I would have never talked to him again. I would have never given him another conversation. I think we
No.
see a little bit of that anger coming out on the vacation with Karen. This guy's got some serious anger issues. He does look like Keanu Reeves, so I'm gonna call him Keanu Reeves, but he's a red flag. He's a red flag, and he has serious anger issues. If you're reacting like this on camera, where there's cameras around, smashing a Christmas tree, storming out, yelling, cursing, what the hell are you? I'd be afraid to be alone with him, to be honest.
I
Yeah.
totally agree. And I think I think he said he had to retire from an injury. And so I feel like when that happens to men or to anyone maybe that plays sports, they just have that anger in them because they feel like their dream got ruined, right? And
For
so I feel
sure.
like he's always gonna have that feeling of like a failure, which causes like anger. So I don't know if that's a lot of issues. And obviously, Karen has a son that's older, 15, but I don't know that I would want someone with that rage to be like a stepfather to my child. And I honestly, we see now Karen kind of questioning him. I don't really
Yeah.
know why she said yes. It looked like she was going to say no. I wish that she did. I think that would have been what he deserved. But I kind of think she's still carrying a lot of like, she knows she's the second choice, and you can see that.
Yeah. Well, Karen is very insecure. Luda and Karen are both insecure. Luda is, I don't know why she's insecure with her appearance. I think she's insecure of it in regard to Karen. She just thinks that, oh, this is what he'd like more. Karen is just insecure in general. She couldn't even take him saying, I have another option that I'm not ready to cut off, when that is the whole experiment. Like, he's just trying to, you know what I mean? In that regard, there was nothing wrong with him, like, being like, I have two connections. I don't know which one's stronger yet. I'm still trying to weigh out my options. But the fact that he went back to Karen and she was still like, okay, I thought she was going to say no too. But I think, yes, like, all her already being insecure on top of like, okay, he basically only picked me because Luda didn't want him, that can't
Mhm.
feel good. And obviously, we see those insecurities brewing when Keanu Reeves and Luda decide to have a talk. Do you feel like
Yeah.
they were flirting? Because I do.
I do, and I'm like, I don't know. This is just men for you, I guess, because here Nicola has Karen, who's gorgeous, and they seem to be getting along great to this point, and everything seems perfect, right? And it's like he should, like, he does seem though to want to make Luda think that she still has a chance with him, or like he's feeling her still, and he's like wrapped up in why she's with someone else, and it's just ridiculous because like you made your choice is going well, like you couldn't have chosen better, and you're still thinking about what you lost, right?
But he's not, and again, I don't think it's has anything to do with his feelings for
Mm,
Luda. It's all his ego. He
mhm.
wants
Yeah,
to hear Luda say, he's more so like, look at me.
yeah,
Look at me compared to Davide. Look at me. Yeah, don't you wish you had me? Oh, don't you wish you had you made the wrong choice, didn't you? And he's
yeah.
mad that she's not being like, yeah, I
I
did. Yeah, he definitely left the door cracked.
Yeah, I think he wants to be the one to make the choice, right? He wants
Yeah.
her to be into him so he can decide and he can be the one to say I don't want you, because at this point she's the one that turned him down, and I think he cannot handle that. What was with Remember when Luda and Davide were talking and they kept like flashing to Nicola getting his massage all oiled up without his shirt on? Is so funny.
It
I'm like,
was so cringy.
yeah.
Also, first of all, Luda being like, I mean, I think her and Davide have a lot of banter, but her
Mhm.
basically telling him, like, at the vacation, basically telling him, like, yeah, I thought your belly was bigger. I thought you did. Basically, when I first saw you, I thought you were actually more hideous. And now that I
Yeah.
look at you, like, you're actually not as bad as I thought you were. Like, you're actually okay. Like, I could work with this. At first, I thought I wasn't going to be able to work with it, but I can work with it now. Like, what,
Yeah.
girl?
I know.
Yeah.
I definitely think she wasn't physically attracted, but I think he has that. I mean, he does seem a bit insecure, but he also does seem to have like, he's still got the banter with her, and I think that can be hard to find. Like I don't see her like that with Nicola. It's all about like it's more toxic, right? Whereas I think she would have a lot more fun with Davide, but
Yeah.
Nicola's obviously hot. So do you think she's like torn in any way, or she's happy with Davide?
I I think she's torn. I think
Yeah.
she's torn. I think she's into it. I think she's curious. I'll say that. I think that she's curious about
Mhm.
Nicola. But I think she is having those thoughts, maybe that like what we're thinking, like, okay, is he really into me? Because she's insecure. So I don't think that she believes that Nicola is into her. I think that she is kind of where we're at. Like, okay, is it a competition? Why are you
Mhm.
into me? Like, I could see her being like, why is he into me? Karen's so beautiful. Like, why would he be into me?
Yeah.
Like, what's this really about? And then we see her going and overcompensating back to Davide, she kissing him all in his mouth.
Yeah.
But I think that was a little bit overcompensating to make him feel secure, but also to get under Nicola's skin. Because now that it's like, okay, well, you're interested in me, you want me, but now I have this other man. I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like this isn't the end of Nicola and
No.
Luda's little connection. I feel like we're going to see more of it
Mhm.
like some more. And then obviously Karen's feeling away. Nicola just had this 30-minute conversation with his quote unquote ex,
Yeah.
and he doesn't do anything to comfort her. He doesn't do anything to reassure her. He actually gets
Right.
mad at her
Yeah. And
and
he asks her
basically
like,
doesn't give a fuck.
yeah, he says like I'm gonna need my own room tonight or something. Like I don't want to deal with this. And it's like obviously she's gonna feel a certain way after watching you talk to her for 30 minutes. Like you have to come over and comfort her. So it's like as soon as Luda showed up, he just didn't give a fuck anymore. So
Yeah, or like at least reassure her of what you guys talked about, how the
yeah.
conversation went. Like these are all very normal expectations of her, but
Yeah.
he's definitely doesn't seem like the type of guy that's just gonna pick up on social cues and be like, oh, she's pissed, or oh, she's mad. Like, I know that I need to go talk to her. Like, he's definitely the type that's like, you have to tell him what to do, and then it's like, if he doesn't agree with what you're telling him, he's gonna get upset. So
Yeah.
again, those are those rage and those anger issues. Now you're gonna fucking make this about you. You're gonna get a separate room. You're gonna storm out. You're gonna get mad. So I mean, I don't see them even making it to the altar, to be honest. I'm
No.
not sure that Nicola's there for the right reasons. I think he's just he's there for play, you know.
Yeah. And they did show us a little Easter egg, I think. Do you remember when Luda and Davide were talking about? She's like, "I'm gonna get Carrie's shoes." You know what she's talking about?
No.
Okay, so I'm surprised people still do this because I remember back when one of my friends got married in 2012, like Carrie Bradshaw's shoe, her Manolo Blahnik, the
Oh, the
blue with
blue
the
one.
buckle.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, I've seen those at Nordstrom's rack the other day or something like that. No, maybe it was Saks off Fifth. I've seen them
yeah,
there.
yeah. Everybody had to have those shoes at their wedding, which my wedding was yellow, of course, our favorite color, and so I
Yeah.
got yellow Manolo Blahniks, but they were not the same with the little buckle. So I was like, I'm a little different, but
Yeah.
I'm. I mean, those ones are beautiful too, though. I think they were just so overdone at the time. So I'm surprised to hear people are still doing that. But I think at the end they did show that shoe, but it wasn't blue. It was like silver or white, but it looked like the shoe. So
Oh.
could be someone else's
Oh.
shoe. But
Okay.
I kind of
Maybe.
felt like that was her in the wedding dress. So I don't know. Maybe it's Nicola at the altar. Could you see that
Maybe.
happening?
I don't know.
Maybe a big
No,
split?
no.
No.
No, but that's something that I am waiting for on one of these Love is Blind that we haven't gotten yet is like an absolute switch. Like, yes, we've seen Zach like dump Irina and go to Bliss, but we have never seen a couple switch and be
Yeah.
like Davide going. I mean, I don't think the only other person that wanted Davide was Georgia.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, but like a complete swap to where it's like Davide goes to Georgia, and Luda goes to Nicola, and then Karen and Giovanni get
I
together.
could
Something
see
like, you know what I mean?
Karen and Giovanni together. I feel like that would be a good match, but I
I feel
don't
like
know.
he would like her. I feel like he would definitely
Yeah.
like her. But again, the foreign ones, we don't know how it works. They might not be obligated. I mean, they might, like, I know here they're not obligated to go to the altar anymore. They took that clause out, which is why a lot of them don't even make it to the altar anymore. But I think just as far as we've been watching in the foreign seasons, they all go to the altar. So it almost
Mhm.
seems like an obligation for the most part, but we'll see. It seems like we're going to get reintroduced to Yoni and Alessandra. I'm looking forward to seeing more of their story. I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to seeing my man Parminder. I'm looking forward to the Luda uh Nicola of it all, like
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves. I'm curious. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So I know the Italians don't like it so far, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
So,
we like it.
yeah,
I could totally see Nicola's ego having him get Luda to dump Davide, pick him, go to the altar, and he says no. I could see him doing some shit like
that's
that.
great TV. That's great
That
TV. I really want to see a couple switch. I think
mm,
that's something we haven't seen. Just like Love is
yeah,
Blind USA this past season is the first time we've seen no marriages.
yeah.
And then I love whatever foreign one we were watching where everybody was divorced. UK,
Oh,
everybody was
UK,
divorced
yeah.
by the reunion. These are like things that have never happened in Love is Blind history. I think a couple switching would be like switching once they see each other, which defeats the purpose of the whole entire show.
Yeah,
But I think it would make great TV.
me too. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Damn, I gotta shout out whoever told me about this oil of oregano because I had one cough in how long? 50 minutes?
But
That's
you've also
crazy.
talked minimally. You had talked
True.
minimally. So I think that is the key because yesterday when she was just talking a lot, she was coughing every 2 minutes. I do think the oil of oregano helped though.
Yeah.
And we're off to a great start. Woo!
It's crazy because you should have seen it yesterday. I was poor Ricky. She would get a half sentence out and I would start hacking away. I had a humidifier, but anyway, I shouldn't get too cocky because I'm sure
Yeah.
they're about to pop out any second now.
And
So.
and I can tell that you're like talking like very low, like you're not projecting
Yeah.
your voice fully because whatever. Keep the vibrations
tickles.
of the throat low. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But she's getting it done. She's getting it done, and we made it through a whole entire episode. So again, if you guys have any remedies for Ashley, we've got too much happening this week. We have Vanderpump Rules. We have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We have The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reunion. We have too much for her throat to not want to work. So
Bad Bad timing.
Bad
So,
timing. So you guys, let us know if you have any suggestions or home remedies. She's gonna keep doing the oil of oregano,
hmm
humidifier, honey, tea, all the things.
you bet.
Um, and then we do have the newest drop of Love Is Blind Italy on Thursday as well, right?
Yeah.
Is it
Oh,
Thursday?
and
Yeah.
it was our follower Kiki that told us that what's his name? Giovanni's outfits are not good fashion even in Italy, and that kids do club at 14. So thank you for that tea, and yeah, give us your opinions if you live in Italy and you disagree and about all the other stuff we
Yeah.
mentioned cuz yeah,
And I do know that I just know there's tea on Giovanni. I just know there is.
yeah.
Like there's just something out there. You said
Send us
he's
the tea.
works in nightclubs or whatever. So it's like, yeah, no, he's there's some tea on him and I needs to know it. And
Yeah.
translated, please, if you send it.
Yes. Find it, translate it, and then just give it to us, please.
Yeah,
Because
do all the work for us.
yeah, so we'll just put it out there. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think any other thoughts? Are we good?
No, I think we're good.
We did
Good.
it.
Yeah,
All
looking forward
right.
to the next half of the season. It looks like it's going to be an interesting one. So we'll see what we get from Love is Blind Italy. So far, so good.
Loving it. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks for listening.
You
Bye,
guys. Bye,
guys.
guys.